Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome to Beauty for Ashes channel. Today I'm recounting how the struggle of my husband's illness and passing caused me to surrender. But you can apply this to any troubles that you might have. And there are plenty to go around. I'm not the only one that suffers. I'm hoping this testimony is a source of peace for you. And I'm praying that it helps you on your journey. So here we go. It's been a long, long road. Actually, one that has built up all my life, but the most recent was that I lost my husband to cancer, and that can be daunting. I would say, though, that any kind of serious issues and problems can also be very daunting, just as daunting. There are more stories like this and the kind, unfair deaths, young deaths, even things like losing your job or getting an illness yourself. There's no shortage of trouble. And one of those things at some point in time can really take us down, and you get to have a choice. I was a lover of Jesus since I was 17 years old, and that's a long, long time. Just take my word for it. But it wasn't until a few years ago when I lost my husband, excuse me, that it really, the whole life and death and the big questions came about. In addition to the fact that the grieving was so painful, I felt as though I had been skinned alive. But it also brought about the relationship that I enjoy now with my God, with my Father, with my Savior, and the Holy Spirit. They're my life now. I would not have been able to experience that were it not for the fact that I had to cry out or not survive, which happens when you lose a spouse. Some of these people, they die 6 months after their loss of their spouse. It's crazy to experience, but you make some life or death and eternal choices at that time. And I think that's what all great trouble does for us. And I would almost want to say that without it, God doesn't have the stuff, the material to finish the recipe and make you who you are. I don't think He causes trouble. It just comes naturally, but He can take it and bring us to levels that we never thought were possible. When you have a loss that great or you're in that much pain, you know you're not going to make it on your own. It's kind of like a drowning person. They are flailing around, and if you try and save them, you could lose your own life because they'll take you under. It's difficult to help a drowning person when they're in a panic. You have to wait until they stop struggling, and they just give it to you, and then you can rescue them. And that's kind of what happens. Let's put it this way. I've learned now that if I run into trouble, I am not going to struggle. That's not going to be my first, reaction. I'm going to calm down and I'm going to give it to God and know that He's going to take care of it. Now, that kind of sounds like a Hallmark card kind of little statement there, but it's not. I had no choice. The illness that my husband went through, and the way, what that did for me, having to keep a smile on my face and be encouraging while I watched his body deteriorate in front of me, I still get flashes of that, and it hurts, as you can see. But I just know that those things bring you to the end of your own resources. And if you love God to begin with, and you know you have a Savior, then you can start digging and asking. And one of the things that I did dig on was the thing that God says about the widows, that those are special to Him. He protects them, and He hurts anybody that hurts them. And I really latched into that because now I had one income. I was okay, but it was going to be squeaking by, and I had to make do here and get this from there and steal from Peter to pay Paul and get on programs but at every turn, things that were unlikely to happen happened for me. And they still do, right down to the neighbor that I have, who has been there for me from the beginning, and still is. And she's not tired of me yet. I don't understand that. But I try to keep my own counsel to a certain degree, but she helps me. She'll listen to me. She did for the first 6 months. She just let me, cry about it and encourage me in whatever way that she could. But we're the best of friends, and she far outgives me in her generosity, in her loveliness. And so that was another thing that God gave to me that I didn't have when my husband and I lived here together. There are so many good things that we can get out of just casting our care, putting our shoulders down, hands in our lap, mouths zipped up from complaining, and just waiting. And He'll take care of it. He's got the best plan for each particular situation that we come across, and He already knows we're going to come across it. So I think I'd like His plan and not my variety of solutions. I'll keep my eyes peeled, and I do what I know I should do and things like that, but I have seen breadcrumbs being dropped, and they have actually, by Him, and they've actually taken me from one step to the next step to the next step until I get what He wants me to get, or I do what He wants me to do. It took me many of those little breadcrumbs and steps and things, and over the years, collecting of journals and my love for producing videos and all that stuff. All that stuff came years before I ever decided to sit down and do this. But now here I am. That's something He's led me to, and He said that He would bless what I put my hand to. And I'll tell you what, my greatest desire right now, anymore, I don't really have a purpose for anything else, and I don't want another one, is to shout from the rooftops that He's a good God. And hang on, because you're in for a ride, and don't worry. He's not going to do anything to lock you in or change or ruin your life or make you feel bad about yourself. That's all the devil talking. He wants to help pull you out of it. Every time. All the time. There is nothing that he would ever do to hurt you, and everything when you trust him that he can make happen beyond your wildest dreams. And my wildest dreams are coming true right now, and that is that I have his presence in my life, and I know how to surrender everything around me and just let him take care of it. That's living the life for me for the first time in my 60 plus years. And so that's what I want to share with you guys. And praying that you're blessed by the knowledge of who God really is and what our Savior does for us, what it's really about. The pure gospel. I want to glorify his name. If you want to come with me, then I welcome you in, and I just say be prepared to enjoy the ride.